Greetings, everyone. Welcome to the very first live episode of Spirit Wisdom Reset, the podcast. And this is our live series that is titled Creating Your Own Lane. And this is going to be an ongoing live series that you can catch us doing. So definitely be sure to subscribe if you haven't done so already. You can follow us on all social media platforms. The link is for all those links. All of those links are in our bio, so be sure to do that. All right, so let me go ahead and just add my co-host in, and we're going to get started. Let me see here. All right, so what does it mean to what does create your own lane mean? We're going to first talk about what that represents and why we even titled it this particular ongoing series, why we titled it that way. And more importantly, we want to know what that means for you. What does that represent for you? That's what we want to know. So if you have any questions, you can post your questions in the comments wherever you're watching us. We are multi-streaming right now on Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. So you can share your comments and your questions, and we will do our best to answer as many as we can live. If for whatever reason we can't get to them in this episode, we'll definitely be sure to do so in an upcoming episode. So I want to introduce my awesome co-host, Mayet Ajay-Ib. Can you tell everybody about yourself?
Hey, y'all. Welcome. I hope you guys can hear me on Instagram. All right. Let me make sure not turn that down. Y'all got to forgive me. I hope you can hear me on Instagram. All right. Hey, everybody. Facebook, how y'all doing? YouTube, Twitter, IG, what's up? My name is Mayet Ajay-Ib. I am honored to be a part of this podcast because it is more like a show. um in all honesty, it's more like a show. It's more like an interaction of love and building and showing what collaboration actually looks like. Okay, before we start talking about me, let's talk about this beautiful podcast. It is more, and if you see me going down, guys, I'm gonna get this camera situation together after a while, but right now this is what we got to work with. It is so much to how we are to show up for each other in this time. It's more for what it is that we are to do for each other and how we can actually formulate bridges instead of all this separation. That is what Spirit Wisdom Reset is all about. Okay, I just want to say that first and foremost. You sit still and allow your spirit to speak. Allow the divine source creator, allow the internal you, whatever you want to call it. You allow yourself to speak and you be quiet long enough to hear. And then you allow that wisdom to be poured into you from what it is you hear, and then you reset your current situation. You reset where you are, you reset how you are, you reset what you think, you reset how you do things. So we're going to come to you on a vast amounts of subjects, and we're going to break them down to the most minute particle of each. And we're going to give you ways to assist. We're going to answer questions. We're going to do all that good stuff. I wanted to talk about the podcast where I talked about me. I am the owner of INTGW, or Internal Growth and Wellness. I have been doing the love of my life, which is healing one soul at a time, starting with mine. I have been doing that for, oh my God, I came out live. I came out the closet in 2016. Okay. I came out the closet in 2016. And I started really sharing myself with the world, sharing my experiences, sharing my growth. I am a certified Humeta certified spiritual life coach. I am a Yusui Reiki my master. I am a mother of 3 adult children. I am in a throuple. Oh, some of y'all know. Okay. That's what my sister call it, a throuple. I am enjoying a life of peace, happiness, and bliss. There are moments when I get broke down, but I'll never stop. I'm gonna always be genuine. I'm gonna always be 100 with you, always. And I'm always gonna display love, the level of love that those of them who display to me, I'm gonna radiate that back out to them. My whole objective is just to love you. That's it. Love you like you didn't know what love was. And we're going to do that through this podcast. But I would like for my beautiful co host, Ujo Wajette, to introduce herself and tell us a little bit about her, if you will, darling.
Sure thing. So, for those of you that aren't familiar with me, my name is Ujo Wajet, and I am an intuitive wellness coach, and I'm currently working towards becoming a licensed therapist. And I'm also a personal trainer, an energy healer, tarot reader, and I've been doing it for years. And one of the things I'm most excited about when it comes to this journey of this of Spirit Wisdom Reset is that the experiences that we are going to be sharing from our perspective, from our personal perspective, but and also as our from our perspective as practitioners, as certified coaches and things like that. Because this is not something that was around when I was initially going through my personal and spiritual journey of self-discovery, which is ongoing. There's levels to this shit. And I feel like one of the things that is important is being able to see yourself in other people, and knowing that you're not alone, even though solitude is a very significant part of your personal and spiritual growth. And you'll hear me say personal and spiritual because I feel like it goes hand in hand. I feel like these two work together. So with that in mind, we are coming from a lens that is authentic, that is real, that might be a little raunchy sometimes, might be a little ghetto sometimes, but definitely won't be sugarcoating anything. And if that's something that you're up for, then you are absolutely in the right place. So
Absolutely, absolutely. And if y'all could do me a solid, wherever you're watching this from, retweet it, if you will, if you're on Twitter. Go ahead and share it to all of your platforms, your friends, your whole, phone book list, if you can, to the people that you are loving so much. If you can share this on Facebook platforms, whatever you do, I want you to share, 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 share. And please note that your shares will not go unnoticed. There's a lot of things we have in store for you. And so, what you say about us diving right on in? Our
yeah,
first is what now? So what you
let's
saying?
do it. Listen, let's go right in. Creating your own lane. So I first want to talk about why it is important to create your own lane. And I'll start with the story. I will start with my own personal story of creating your own lane and why I feel like this topic is so important. Why I feel like this is why we want to have this continued conversation around it. I would not be where I'm at today if I did not make certain decisions in my life to say, fuck it. If I didn't make certain decisions in my life to stop caring what other people think about me. And those two things of just not being so focused on trying to keep up appearances or do things that please other people. When I made the decision to no longer do that, that's when I was able to move in a direction that felt more authentic. Sometimes scary. Sometimes it felt like I was walking into the unknown because I was.
Yeah.
And even though it felt like I was unsure sometimes, and yes, sometimes it did feel lonely. Sometimes I didn't feel like I knew what I was doing. Listen, most of the time I don't feel like I know what I'm doing. I mean, whatever, right? It's like
Okay.
you can't. And I think that's what I had to learn over time, that creating your own lane doesn't mean that you are going in knowing exactly what to expect or what to do.
Right.
Creating your own lane for me, the most significant times was when I decided to trust my intuition,
Mm-hmm.
or when I decided to, and when I wasn't aware of my intuition, I
Mm-hmm.
decided to trust what I no longer wanted to experience.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you don't know how to assess or tune into your intuition yet. And I was definitely, there was many stages where I talked about that, and we'll talk about intuition, over the course of
Right.
our time together
Right.
throughout this series. But when I started to just trust that I don't want to experience having to try to live up to other people's expectations of me anymore.
Right.
I want to start figuring out what it is I truly want and learning who I am and seeing where that takes me, because at the end of the day, I have to live my life for me. These people, the people in my life, family, friends, whoever, no matter how close they are, at the end of the day, am I going to feel satisfied with the life that I'm living? Or am I going to regret um, staying small? Am I going to regret not showing up as my full self? Am I going to regret hiding who I am because I want to make other people happy?
Mm-hmm.
Am I willing to sacrifice my own joy and my own happiness and my own freedom, my emotional freedom, my
Mm-hmm.
mental freedom? Like,
Mm-hmm.
is it worth that? And the answer was hell no, it's not worth that.
Okay.
And so for me, that's when things started changing. And that's what creating your own lane has been in my experience. Mayette, what about you? What was yours? And let us know in the comments if you want to share, if any of this has resonated, or if you want to share any stories around creating your own lane. Be sure to share them in the comments. But Mayette, what's your experience been?
My experience in creating my own lane, first of all, I had to realize that I was in other people's lanes first. That's number one. You don't the first thing I had to do is realize I was in a lane that didn't even belong to me. Okay. The
Come
lane
on
didn't
now.
belong to me. It was somebody else's stuff. And I was so
Mhm.
busy trying to see what I needed to do to be able to impact the amount of people I needed to impact, and then realize that you reaching the wrong demographic of folk. Them
Mm.
ain't your people. They're not your
Mhm.
people. See, there were parts of you that slipped in when you were creating your own lane unconsciously. There were parts of you that slipped in during your creation process in the creating your own lane as I was creating my own path. There was parts of me that just stepped to the forefront. However, a bigger bulk of that was filled with literally grabbing a hold to nuggets from other people's lanes, because I was in the process of learning. I was new. I didn't understand. I didn't know how things worked. And I went in thinking all fa la 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 la, that everybody's going to have the love that I have in me. And I felt that if surely this is the way I'm feeling, that surely there are others out there in the same community that feels the exact same way that I do. And surely we can work together and do some things that will make a change. And I began to look at those other people and see what worked well for me, and then I tried to adopt an energy that was not mine. I had to first realize what wasn't mine, what isn't mine. I had to first realize what is not mine. I
Mhm.
had to realize I was riding in somebody else's lane about to knock them over.
Yeah.
It wasn't until like I was conscious of it. I was going in and out of consciousness in creating my own lane. And there were times when things would get really, really rocky because I was riding on a road that I did not create. And when it got really, really rocky for me, I would be like, wait a minute, what the hell? This is why is all this happening? Because you in a lane that was not specifically designed for you. It is something that is innately in all of us. And it took me a minute to figure that out. But once I became conscious of it, I started to notice. And now I had to start to go through and shed all of those things of other people that were not mine, that was causing me to crash into the brick wall. Not saying that those things were bad, because they worked well for them. But what we need to take away from anybody that we are following, anybody that we are allowing to pour into us, what we really need to take away from that is the energy of their excitement in living and thriving in their own lane.
Mm.
That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. So when I realized that, then I was like, okay, so now I'm conscious of it. I'm conscious when I'm doing certain things because I have shed a lot of different energies, a lot of different ideologies, a lot of different things out of my sphere, I don't allow it to pour into my pores in any way. You don't go into my portals in any way. You're not in my ears. I'm not absorbing it through my eyes. I'm not absorbing it, in my heart space, in my aura. I'm making certain that I am in a space to where I can hear me. I have to silence the noise so that spirit can speak, so that I can gain that wisdom on how and what my lane truly is. And it happens every single day. And it got me to the place where like you said, you had to realize where you needed to be for you. For me, it was like, oh, hell no, listen, that's somebody else's stuff. Now, I don't know if you recognize it or know it to be true or not, but when you pick somebody else's stuff up, you also pick up their bullshit.
Come on now, and it stank.
I don't know about y'all. I got enough stuff on my own, by my own self. Okay? I got enough stuff by my own self, y'all. I don't need to pick up nobody else's. So when you are creating your own lane, it is important to really know who it is you are. Number one, know who you are and how much of the way you are in this moment is parts of other people that you've allowed to pour into you. That's number one.
Yes.
Okay? That's what you want to do. You want to figure it out. Figure out who you are. Figure out why you are the way you are. Figure out if those mannerisms of yours are actually yours. There are various ways you can do that, and you'll have to catch that in episode 2. Sister, what do you think the next thing needs to be done? What is your take on what the next thing, once they evaluate themselves, what else needs to be done after that?
I think adding another layer to the like evaluating who you are is part of it is realizing that like it's okay to not know.
Right.
And you're not going to know all of who you are as soon as you decide to figure it out. Like it's through navigating the journey. So it's a simultaneous process of you taking a step, and then you learn who you are through the process of taking that step. And it's an integration, a collaboration. It's a joint process.
Absolutely.
Because I feel like, at least for me, when I think back to when I was like, oh, well, I don't know enough. I don't know what I like. Well, I don't know. And I feel like there was so many times where it took me too long. Because I was waiting. I was just waiting for just things to all of a sudden know. And
fall out the sky on that ass.
Right. And it wasn't until trial and error, right, where I'm like, oh, I have to actually do stuff. I have to establish some boundaries, or I have to start doing shit scared. Like,
oh, yes, Lord.
I feel like there's this misconception, like, just because you are saying, like, what you want to say no to, it no longer serves you anymore. But that doesn't mean that you know what you want. And sometimes you're not going to know what you want because you don't know who you are yet. You're starting to figure that out. So part of it is you can know who you are by knowing what you don't want. And for me, that's where it starts. Like, okay, I know what I don't want. And I had a general idea. Oh, I want to feel free. I want to feel more peace. I want to feel like I'm not hiding anymore. I want to feel like I'm living my life in a way that just feels in alignment with like who I really am. But I'm also still trying to figure that out too. And so with that, it's like just knowing that it's okay to not know, and you're going to learn more through the process of taking the actions, or
Right.
or establishing the boundaries, creating space to actually listen to yourself, to
Mm-hmm.
hear your thoughts and figure
Mm-hmm.
out where it's coming from.
Mm-hmm.
So, and so I feel like it's almost, I feel like knowing who you are, like there's like all these subsets in that,
Absolutely.
because it's through that, because there's so much, um so many barriers that we create within ourselves.
Mm-hmm. Ooh.
And really it's about removing the barriers, because everything you
Mm-hmm.
need is already there.
Mm. Mm.
And it's so interesting
Lord.
because part of the work that I do, when I help my clients just, like, strengthen their intuition, develop their spiritual abilities, right? Um,
Mm-hmm.
Really, it's not about the ability not being there or the intuition not being there. We are all intuitive beings.
Mm-hmm.
It's about recognizing and removing the barriers that prevent you
Mm-hmm.
from accessing what's already yours in the first place.
Oh, Kurt, come on now. Listen, listen, you just talking. Okay, listen. So the first thing we got is this me? First, examine yourself. Is this me? The second thing we got is do shit scared.
Come on
Yeah,
now.
do it scared. Because the only way you'll understand who you are is if you get out there and do something. Like Ujo said, she forgot she had to do something. She forgot she had to, you have to take a move. You have to move, right? Do shit
Yes.
scared, y'all. The third thing is removing the barriers. She shouldn't broke it down. The third thing is removing the barriers. So once you figure out who you are and you go out and do some trial and error, that's basically what she's saying, y'all. Do trial and error. Get out there. How you create your lane is an active process. I'm still knocking down trees in mine. Okay, I don't know about y'all. I'm still knocking down trees in mine. The only way my lane will be complete is when I leave this earth. So I'm steadily chiseling out the rock. I'm steadily clearing the brush. I'm steadily, creating a path on the left and right of water so I can have an ample amount of hydration. Okay, I'm steady planting little gardens along the side of the bank because I need to be able to eat along the process. Those are different things that you do. But we got to also remove them barriers now. Remove those barriers. What blockages have I put up for myself? What is it that I have actually done that has prevented me from actually realizing my full potential? After we remove the barriers, a very, very key component, and after removing a barrier, once you've removed a barrier, there's a new habit that needs to be formed. So now you need to formulate a new habit of doing, a new habit of being, a new habit of walking in the new lane. See, the old lane you were in was really not yours. It was somebody else's or accumulation of other people's shit. And so you tried to adopt it in as yours. And see, once you uncover that, then you have to go out and produce more action, even when you're scared, right? Remove the boundaries. After you remove the boundaries, what you do, sis, say it again for me. And for the people in the back, they can hear it. What you supposed to do?
For which part?
For the after removing the boundaries.
Once you remove the boundaries, then you have to start stepping into what is it that you start doing the work. Like, you start doing the thing so you can start figuring out who you are through the process,
Creating your process.
taking the step, doing it scared, doing it if you're not sure. Like, that part is
Creating.
so, like, yeah, that part, like, it is okay to not be sure. It's okay to not feel like 100%, oh, this is it. I'm telling you, half of the time I'm like, is it? I don't know. Like, you start to because you don't trust yourself. You have to learn you have to build trust with yourself. You know how you want to trust other people, and that takes time. And then if somebody that you trust violates your trust, then it might take you a long time to rebuild that trust within that person. Hello, how many times do you lie to yourself? All the time, consciously and subconsciously. We lie to ourselves all the time. So we have to do that same thing. It's like, man, I need to learn how to trust myself again.
Right.
Reestablish trust.
Right.
Because if you don't trust yourself,
Good.
at least from my, and I'll share from my experience, the more I don't trust myself, the more I attract people that mirror that same energy. The more I attract people that I have to question their level of trust, the more I'm in end up in scenarios where trust is an issue. And so I had to realize, well, damn, it's me. And so it goes back to the personal boundaries. And when I started to see it, it's like, oof, okay, well, I need to start doing something different. Because after a while, trying to blame other people, that only lasts for so long. And I mean, just think about somebody that you know right now that's always complaining about stuff. It's the same scenario, the same situation over and over again. They just don't know why. They are just the victim of the circumstance, but it's the same pattern over and over and over again. It's something. And man, we do have an episode once we have a few series like that's going to be coming out this spring that really break this down even more so. And I'm really excited for y'all to tune into that. But there's so many layers to it. And it's like you have to start taking the step, doing it scared. Because it's the feelings, it's not always about the feelings, about like, you have to feel good in order to take the action.
Right.
Like it has to feel like this is 100% the right decision. No, that's not even realistic. Especially if you are trying to reestablish a relationship with yourself. And learn who you are as you are creating this your own lane. And I love what you mentioned, Mayette, about the accumulations of other people's things. And does that not start from birth? Hello, we are conditioned into a lane before we're even born. Okay. Okay.
Listen, that's sad because that's so true. We really are. So you come in with a few barriers, right? You come in with a few barriers already because your parents want you to be a specific something before you come out the womb. So you're already having energies imparted on you to be a specific something. But when you are creating your own lane, after you've gone through these processes that we've just talked about, and we're going to break those down on sessions after. We're going to break each one of these down in segments for you to go, but we're just going to give you a brief synopsis now. And of course, we like to do things on the fly sometimes, and sometimes we don't. But we're doing it on the fly today because that's when the best thing. That's when it, to me, that's when it rolls out the best, because the spirit just speaking straight to you. So, is this me? When you create your own lane, before you need to internally see if it's you. Okay. Go ahead, and once you realize things aren't you, go through the process of doing what you have to do to uncover and release, as I told you I did within my own story. Go ahead and start doing shit scared. It's okay to be afraid, because this is something different. So you clean up a little bit, you do a little bit. You clean up a little bit, you do a little bit. Okay. You're going to also remove barriers, things that you know that you have placed in front of yourself, consciously and then unconsciously. And the more you do what you need to do to see who you are, rid yourself, do things scared, the more removing the barriers will become easier for you, because they will become highlighted. Those barriers will become highlighted for you. You'll see where either you've been holding you back or you put yourself in a situation that is holding you back. Either way, you're going to see that. Okay. You're going to start creating your own processes, unfolding who you are by reestablishing trust with yourself and reestablishing a relationship with yourself. I like that. Reestablishing a relationship with yourself is going to help you go far. Okay. So creating your own lane, this right here is just cleaning up. All of this is clean up. All of this we're talking about is clean up. To create your own lane, one must first clean up by doing these things that we just spoke on. After you do the cleanup process, okay, then you start going out and doing things, or involving yourself in an experience, shall I say. Involve yourself in an experience that will cause you to grow in that experience. See, a lot of times we are unconscious in our experiences. They just happen. They just happen. Or we get into a relationship, as an example. We say, yes, I'll be your girlfriend or boyfriend, or yeah, we can go ahead and get married, or whatever the case may be. We get into this relationship. We know that we said yes to it, but we don't realize what we've said yes to. So make certain that you go consciously experience relationships, that being in the moment when you're saying yes, but also seeing everything about that person, the situation, prior to diving yourself into it fully. Understanding that will help you go in with the lights on. And when the lights are on, you'll be able to navigate a lot better. You're going to grow in these experiences. So you're going to be intentional in setting yourself up for these experiences that you're going to have. And then as you're doing that, your spirit is going to speak to you. Your spirit is going to guide you. You will get divine guidance that will tell you what's next, what not to do, what to avoid. You have, at this moment, in this time, in this portion of creating your own lane, you will be in tuned enough, because you've done a lot of work prior to this point. So you're going to be in tuned enough to get you where you need to be and to hear the frequency of that divine guidance to lead you along your way. Creating your own path is not biting off of anybody else. See, there's something uniquely special in each and every last one of you. There's something uniquely special about you. Okay? There is something uniquely special about you that needs to be brought to the forefront, not composites of various composites of different people and their actions and their teachings and their ways. But the first portion we talked about of cleanup is going to help you set yourself up for situations that's going to grow you, and it's going to help you unfold more into the authentic aspect of you. Everybody talk about be my authentic self, be my authentic self, authenticity this and authenticity that. What is authenticity? Authenticity is you.
Come on now.
Most of the times, the part of you in the front is not authentic. It's just full with everybody else's stuff. Authenticity is a consistent, constant self-check to ensuring that you are exactly who you should be in the moments that you are being it, that you are impacting people in a positive way. You are radiating and giving love out without expecting anything in return. You have to truthfully want to be able to do something that will benefit somebody else when you create your own lane that's going to be beneficial for you and everybody else that's going to be a part of that lane. And then after that, you'll create your own little town. You'll create your own little neighborhood. You'll be able to create all kinds of things that would revolve around. And we're just not talking about business. We're talking about internal development. We're talking about growing from within, so that when you grow from within, everything outside of you will radiate the way that you desire for it to.
Yeah.
And it will be there to help other people. Creating your own lane are very vast. Is a very vast subject, a broad subject. You can talk about this in very various aspects and ways. We do want to get some of your questions, if you have any. Please let us know on all platforms. We can see them. Well, my beautiful co-host Ujo can see them as they're coming in. When as time progresses, I'm gonna get right, and I'm gonna be able to do the same thing she doing. Okay, be able to see so that she don't have to have all the work. But that's the beauty of a collaboration of someone who loves someone. Let me tell y'all about us real quick. We are just the same. We are just the right amount the same, and just the right amount different that causes a beautiful collaboration. We help
Yeah.
each other. And I don't feel bad when I come to my sister and say, I don't know how to do this. I don't feel like she's going to hold it over my head. I don't feel like she's going to use whatever we speak about in private against me. I don't feel like that's a great, great, great love to have. That's a great love to have. We
Yes.
create our own lane, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
What did I say in the beginning? We're showing you how it's done. We are creating our own lanes. We are creating them as we speak. We are creating them as we speak. Any questions, sis?
Well, I would love to just mention before we, and I'll get to the comments, and yeah, get to the comments and questions in a moment. You know, it's about collaboration over competition.
Mm.
I think that part is so important. And the more that you start it for yourself, like I would not be here if I there was a long time, like I share this story often. When I first started, I was called to tarot for years and I avoided it and I ran away from it because of what I was conditioned to believe about it. And then there got to a point where I had to make a decision. It's like, why am I, another thing that we're conditioned to go against our intuition in a lot of
Mm.
ways, just
Mm.
societally speaking. Um, and when I started to follow that, if I did not follow that path, I would not be here right now talking to you right now and talking about this. That unlocks so many aspects of myself.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And that's just one example. It doesn't have to be tarot. It could be something with your career of, oh, this is what you want to do. But you're a doctor right now because everybody says you should be a doctor, but you actually want to be, you want to own um, a like a an animal rescue center. You want to work
Mm.
with animals, but here you are, you know, um, a doctor or a lawyer because of what your family says that you should do or what's considered the right way or the best thing. It's like, you know. So creating your own lane can go in so many different areas. And the question is, how does it show up in your life? Where's the barrier to that right now? And where do you feel like, are there ways right now that you feel like you're creating your own lane? Just something to think about. Let's tie in. Let me go into these comments. So let's see. Greetings. Ooh, Callisto Moon on Instagram says, I released a lot of friendships that were draining and began listening to my intuition more and allowing it to guide me without resistance. Yes, I'm telling you, because them friends, oh my
Baby.
gosh. Whew.
And I don't even think they mean any harm. They don't realize they have specific things going on with them. But the moment you realize it, though,
Yeah. Yep.
the moment you realize it, oh my God, we have some people. I can see the comments on the YouTube and the his Facebook and the I think it's the IG. I think I see IG just a little bit. I can barely see you guys, but I can see some people over here. I'd like to shout out Adrian Thomas. Hey, honey. Jennifer Bowdit Gonzalez. Hey. Welcome. You guys have been sharing your love, your comments. I am so grateful. Jennifer says, I'll be scared. Jennifer, girl, we all be scared, okay? Listen, we do shit scared. I'm telling you, before we came live, and I go live a lot, she go live a lot. We do a lot of things a lot. But for me coming on here before y'all right now, I'm like, wait a minute, we finna be on how many platforms at one time? What the fuck? Wait a minute, I don't know. Y'all see, I ain't got my camera together. Y'all see my head keep going up and down. I'm gonna be a meme before you know it. My head keep going up and down. Listen, I was scared shitless before I came live.
That's true. She did say, right before we went live, she's like, oh, I'm a little bit scared right now.
I'm a little bit scared right now, y'all. I'm a little bit scared. I don't know what's going on here, but I do shit scared.
Yes.
I'm gonna keep doing it scared. Jennifer, be scared, baby. Just do something about it, ma. Be scared. Just do something about it. Y'all do me a favor. Share this, whatever platform you're on. We would greatly appreciate it. If you share us out, we want to get as big as spirit allows us to get because we are all about expansion. We want to reach the four corners of the world, and we can only do that with our day one riders. Y'all not day one riders. Do y'all realize that?
Yes.
Hello, somebody. Hello.
Making
Y'all
history
are
over
our
here.
day one riders, okay? I appreciate y'all. I love y'all more than y'all know. Listen, we're going to have times where we come in busting and do lives, and we're going to be over here just straight jaw jacking and tripping and having a good time. And we want you to be a part of that process. So, Jennifer, be scared, baby.
Yes, I feel like being scared is one of the best. As you start to create your own lane, as you start to discover who you are, the more you will start to recognize doing it scared is the best part. Because if it scares you a little bit, there's different levels of fear, right? If it scares you, like, oh, it makes you uncomfortable, and it makes you a little bit nervous, or you're afraid of because you don't know what to expect. That is an indicator that it is just outside of your comfort zone, and that is where growth happens. Like, do
Mm-hmm.
you want to be like, I'm not the same version of myself that I was 10 years ago or
Right.
5 years ago or last
Right.
year. And I continue, and that growth is change. And so that requires some discomfort. That's just a part of it. And so if there's anything, if you leave, don't remember anything else, just remember you're supposed to be uncomfortable sometimes. That's
Okay.
part of the process.
Okay.
So let me look at some more comments. Creating boundaries reshaped my entire life. Yes, listen, and we're going to talk so much more about boundaries. That's one of my favorite things to talk about. Um,
Mm-hmm. Petra's Divine, ready to enlighten 331. Welcome, 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 you guys on Instagram.
yes,
Miss Smiley coming in the house. Castillo Moon, Hands of Grace. Oh my God. I can see everybody, okay?
yes.
Almost.
Experiences are the best teachers. Ready to Enlighten 331 says experiences are the best teachers. Absolutely. And how can you have experience if you don't take the action? If you don't
Right,
do the thing, if you don't try it out? I always just say,
right,
try it on, see what
right.
it feels like. It's going to be uncomfortable. It's going to be different. It's going to be awkward. It's not going to be perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And that's okay. You're
Mm-hmm.
not going to, if anything, I get excited about the things that I don't know if I'm good at, right? I don't, once I change my expectations, then it's like, oh, you know what? The only way is up. I can only get better from here.
Right.
And it took me a minute to get there, y'all. I'm a Virgo. We kind of got a perfectionist complex a little
Oh
bit.
Lord Jesus, yes.
Just a little bit.
I can't talk because I can't talk. I can't talk because I'll be doing myself dirty sometimes. Okay, I'll be doing myself dirty sometimes, y'all.
So I had to learn to let that go. I had to learn to let that go. So yes, experiences are absolutely the best teachers. Let's see what else we got here. I'm just scrolling through and seeing, just looking at the comments.
While you're doing that,
Um,
Jennifer has the one. Jennifer said, yes, we are conditioned. That's the second time hearing that about intuition this week. Mm-hmm.
Come on
It's so
now.
true.
It's the synchronicities for me. If this is the second time, listen, you're gonna hear it one more time too. You're
Okay,
gonna
you're
hear
gonna
it
hear it
again.
again until you get it, baby.
Yes, yes,
You're
yes,
gonna hear it
yes.
until you get it, baby. You're gonna hear it till you get it. Listen, do you guys have? Oh, we did have a question earlier. Ways to stay focused and motivated to do the work that we're called to do. Ways to stay motivated. One of the key ways to stay motivated. When you ask questions, unless you do it live, we will keep your name anonymous. You can send your questions. Get on our mailing list, you guys. You would love some of the gems we're going to be dropping on our VIP list, which where y'all get the exclusive content where me and my girl be tripping sometimes.
Absolutely. Listen, link is in the bio. And wherever you're watching, the link to our link tree, and it'll say join our VIP list, and you'll get an email whenever we're announcing when we're going live. And then also we'll share exclusive like private live streams and stuff like that. And you also get to contribute to some of the content that we will share in the future. So if you want the inside scoop, be sure to join our VIP list. Link in
Yes,
bio.
Lord. And go follow us. If you are brand new to this, go like, follow, subscribe, depending on what platform you on. Attach yourself to us so that you will not get lost in the shuffle because we come in full force. We are coming full force. We are coming full force. This baby says she wants to know ways to stay focused and motivated to do the work that I am called to do. Ways to stay motivated, focused and motivated. First of all, you have to find out why it is you ain't focused in the first place. Sometimes, most of the times, almost all of the times, you got to silence the noise. You got to cut off people that kill your damn time, baby. You got to cut off the people that kill your time. When I say kill your time, I'm talking about kill it. I'm talking about kill it, kill it, kill it. They don't have nothing to talk about. They just want to shoot the shit with you all the time. They not building with you. The communication is not about a build. It's about, girl, you know what happened? Girl, you know what so and so said. Girl, you know, brother, did you hear about what happened? Girl, I seen this. They was trying to be mind what you're giving your time to. If it is not a build in a way that is going to enhance myself or those of them that are there with me, if it is not a build, if we're not building in some way, building up each other's esteem, encouraging one another when things are down, not saying that there's going to be a trauma bond kind of thing. And that's the first time I've said that in years, because I don't believe in that anymore, because I don't align myself with it. If I see that's what you're trying to do, I ain't even finna go further with you in communication. We're going to stop talking real quick. You ain't going to understand what's going on. I'm just going to not talk because I see what it is. I'm not going to contribute to my demise, and I'm not going to let you contribute to my demise. And neither am I going to contribute to yours. You're slowing you down or nothing like that. So mind how to stay focused. Baby, find out what's keeping you from being focused. Sometimes it's somebody else. Sometimes it is when you silence the noise to be able to hear, you'll find out it's you. It's your fear of being successful, of what you think success is. So you create diversions or you create distractions to come in, and you set up bombs for yourself and people, places, and things so they can explode at later times. So you want, that's why you can't, you creating the distraction for yourself. That's not what happened all the time, but most of the times that's what it is. So
And
you want
distractions
to
are
stay
easy too.
focused, right? You want to stay focused, do that. And then she also says, stay motivated. What are some of the ways she can stay motivated, Ujo?
So the things that are easy are going to be easy. The things that are easy are going to be the things that, I mean, just look at your habits and your patterns right now. Look at what's comfortable and what is kind of like on autopilot for you.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and look at what is driving that motivation. Because here's the thing, we are all motivated to do something.
Mm-hmm.
The question is what you're motivated to do right now in alignment with the direction that you want to take? Is it in alignment with the work that you're called to do? So I will
Mm-hmm.
share from my own perspective. I was being called to do this work. So like for a long time, I shared my experience like with tarot and how that played a significant role in my life. And there were other things too, to coach, to mentor, and use my gifts and abilities to support other people, right? To be there for other people, help other people recognize the truth of who they are. I Just because I was called to do it didn't mean I wanted to do it. I didn't. I was like, especially I didn't know, if I didn't really know who I was yet. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. Like
Yeah.
I didn't think that I was worthy enough to do those things or that I had the things. So sometimes, um, if you're being called to do the work and you already know what you're called to do, you're already ahead of the game, and you have to look beyond your personal influence.
Right.
So one of the things that helped me was I stopped making it about myself.
Mm-hmm.
I had to, because I have this fear of being seen, and it's something I had to overcome for various levels over the course of my life. And the thing that has always gotten me out of it is, how will this benefit other people? If I don't do this, who who is who's missing out?
Right.
We all have an assignment to be a synchronicity for someone else. And if you miss that synchronicity, that person, like that only you were assigned to be at a certain place at a certain time for a certain individual to hear a message that only you can deliver, or for you to show up in a way that only a person that can only resonate with you can really get it.
Right.
And when I started thinking about who will benefit from me showing up,
Mm-hmm.
what if it was me and I was looking for the very thing that I'm currently avoiding?
Yeah.
So I started thinking about the people that would benefit from the work or from me showing up.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times it's a previous version of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So think about it, like if you already know what the work you're called to do, also start to ask the question of, who am I called to serve through this work?
Come on.
Because
That's motivation.
Yeah, because that's going to motivate you, because now it's not about you and your insecurities and the things that you don't want to do, because it can't be about your feelings.
Come on.
And there's a difference from your emotions and your feelings and the things that, well, yeah, it can't be about your emotions.
Right.
And I feel like there's a nuance in that, and that's something we could talk about later. But it's like you have to think about who you're the people that you're called to serve versus
Right.
the process in which you do that.
Right.
And for those of you, if you're not sure of the work that you're called to do, that is okay. Start to do things that bring you joy. Start to do things that
Mm-hmm.
that bring peace into your life.
Right.
Start to do things that allow you to experience those high frequency aspects of feeling.
Uh-huh.
Because feelings, there are feelings that are a state of being.
Mm-hmm.
And how do you want to feel?
Right.
Like, just start there, right? So in
Mm-hmm.
case you don't know the work you're called to do, but if you are, you know the work you're called to do, and you don't feel that
Mm-hmm.
motivation, you're making it about yourself. That's what it is. And
Right.
basically stop doing that. Start thinking about who you are, who you're supposed to serve. And you don't
Right.
have to know the exact demographic. The people will come to you.
Right. Absolutely. And that's in all areas. Like it doesn't even matter where or where you work, you know what I mean? It doesn't matter what field you work in, because everybody's not made to be entrepreneurs. So whatever they do, who are you serving? Who will
Right.
you serve? Your audience that you serve may be your children. That may be what your lane is.
And it could
and
be a
and, and to
hobby.
stay motivated, yeah, just what is my why? Like, why am I doing this? And who is this going to help? So motivation sometimes is not all about feeling good. Motivation is not all about feeling good, y'all. Sometimes motivation is getting up anyway when your head hurt.
Yeah.
Sometimes motivation is you haven't eaten yet. You normally eat at a specific time, but there's something that you need to do, and you need to go ahead and get this done and hold off on that meal for about 45 more minutes and complete the task, because you know that is going to assist whoever your audience is.
Mm-hmm.
Motivation, let that be your motivation. Let motivation sometimes, unfortunately, can look like a loss.
Mm-hmm.
It's all depending on the person. That's why what we talked about in the beginning, and what we will cover in our next session, we will come back out in 2 weeks. That's our next live that we'll have, that will come and add to this session, do the next series in this. And we're going to break it down in particular segments of what we're going to speak on. And we're going to cover a little bit more in the upcoming session. So you guys, if you would, and if you have not, I want to say this, get on our VIP list so you will know, be in the know when we're going live, know when we have specific giveaways, and know when we're going to have special guests, know what's going to be coming up next, and subscribe to our audio. It's not just visual, but we're also on, tell them where we are, sis.
You can go to any podcast platform, and we will also be sharing those links. If you're on our VIP list, you'll get the direct links to those. So if you're on, like, we're on Spotify, we're on Apple. We're not on Google Play yet, but we will be in the spring. Probably, yeah, just before the spring. So we'll make an announcement on that. All announcements will first go to our VIP list, of course. And so, yeah, if you prefer to consume, or you want to catch the replay, but you just want to listen versus just watch, if it's more convenient, then you can. These episodes will also be on the audio version of your favorite podcast episode. And I want to just catch a few of these comments. Let me see before we conclude here. My biggest issue has always been focusing on one thing, because I have an interest and ability to do a lot of things. I have a lot of gifts. I struggle to focus on one thing at a time. And sometimes it's not about you can focus on multiple things. I like to adjust things by priorities. So I just rank it by priorities. What is most what do I want to prioritize right now at this season of my life, and then I just rank it from there. So there's a lot of different things I like to do, but I look at how much I prioritize how much time I want to spend on which things. So maybe some things I'm doing maybe once or twice a month. Other things I'm doing more consistently, maybe a few times a week or daily. So that's how I incorporate doing multiple things. And then those priorities change based on the season that I'm in. So sometimes if it's sometimes it's the actual season that I'm in, like the season, winter, spring, summer, fall. Sometimes it's the season of life. If I have a really heavy client load and I don't have the time to do all the things, then I'm like, where are my priorities based on that?
Right.
So that's, hopefully that was helpful. So just do all the things, but just prioritize the
Yeah.
frequency in which you do it.
Now, if you are a person that unfortunately, like some people have the makeup or the genetic makeup to do what my sister just spoke on, and then you have some people who don't have the genetic makeup for that, and they have to focus on one thing. If you are a person that has to focus on one thing, even though you like many, you still would want to prioritize and then focus until a task is done within that specific thing on the list, right? Within that specific thing on the list, and then move to your next. My sister can multitask and do a whole lot of things. My multitasking skills are limited. I can do a specific. I've come to realize and accept that. Okay.
Well, I prefer single task. I actually prefer single tasking, but what I do
You
is
multitask wonderfully.
I take I take these individual tasks, and then it's like, okay, I'm doing this
Okay.
task, and
Prioritize it.
I break down those tasks into smaller pieces. And so maybe I'm just doing
Okay.
one bigger task with breaking it down, and I'm just doing
Okay.
that. Then I'm just moving faster between
Right.
different tasks, but I'm only focused on that one thing in that moment, and then I switch over. That's kind
Okay.
of how.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Because it looked like she got octopus arms from my view. But look like she got some octopus arms from my view. I'm gonna tell you what, for me, I'm learning that for me, simple or less is more for me. So I'm condensing down so that I can give more for me to give more of me in those times, because I'm finding that if I do too much, I'm spreading myself too thin, and I go all in when I give myself away. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I go all in when I'm doing something. And so I do it so much to where I'm not giving what is required of me to keep going. So I have learned to condense for myself. And so my things that I prioritize, girl, ain't gonna be no more than 3 now. Ain't gonna be no more than 3, sis. I ain't doing no more than 3 things at one time anymore, because I recognize that if I do more than 3 things, then some gonna fall by the wayside. Most of the times, it's me. And I'm my main priority now, baby. So I'll never do more that's going to take from me that I can give to me. I need to be able to give me. I
Oh
need to
yeah.
be able to give me on a consistent basis. So my stuff is going to be like 3-5, y'all, just 3. That's it. I can't do any more than that. And that's what the podcast, internal growth and wellness, and internal growth for Mayette.
I know that's right.
That's what I'm doing right now. So that's where I'm spreading my time in between my business, my love with my sister, with our beautiful podcast show, and my internal growth. I am in school. And it's a lifelong process. There's a lot of things that I am uncovering, guys, and it's just amazing. So y'all will hear about those things and shares. We have some more comments over here. Let's see.
Ready to
Whitney.
Enlighten 331 says, I used to be super shy, never liked being seen, but I have learned to move past that. Yes, I love that.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, I think that part is so important, because I mean, think about like when you start to show up for yourself. This is what I've learned. This is been one of the most rewarding things for me over the course of like when it comes to creating my own lane and just showing up, right, and just moving past the fear, right? I feel like it's moving through the fear, moving with the fear.
Yeah, moving with it, showing
Yeah,
up.
because I've had to change my language of overcoming fear, because overcoming fear makes us know you have to not be, you have to be fearless, right? Oh, our live stream is about to cut off on Instagram, so
Oh, I'm sorry, guys. It's been
follow up,
wonderful.
connect with us on Facebook or YouTube if you want to continue with the conversation. Instagram, I forgot that Instagram be doing that.
Come on over.
Yes, come on over.
Reach for the mission, y'all.
I
And I
know,
can
right?
focus
I'll be
on
forgetting.
one
Yeah,
screen and I can stop
lesson
being a
learned.
bobblehead and go. Oh,
Yes,
it just
keep things
ended.
to an hour. We got to keep things to an hour on Instagram. I forgot, but to finish that thought, one of the most rewarding things is when you start to show up,
Yeah.
you start to like people are waiting unconsciously for permission to show up for themselves. And when you do that for you, other people, like it's like a ping, like a light bulb goes off, like,
Ding, ding,
oh,
ding.
I can do that. I can do that too. And whatever the thing is, it might not be doing exactly what you're doing, but it inspires someone else to show up for themselves in a way that maybe
Absolutely.
they didn't feel like they could, because
Mhm.
they can relate to you. They can see themselves um through you, or
Right
there's
on.
something that you said. And this is why um I like to mention that everyone has their assignments for those synchronicities and the people that we are meant to inspire or help
Mhm.
redirect. You know, you don't have to be some guru, right? You can
Right.
literally just be walking down the street and you say hi to somebody, and this
Mhm.
person has not felt seen or felt visible, and you just, like, maybe that's part of your mission, is to help other people
Yeah.
smile
You just
and feel
showed up.
seen, right?
Yeah,
You
you
don't have to
showed up for
be.
yourself. Yeah, why
Yeah,
that ties in so perfectly, sis, because it's like when you show up for yourself like that in such a way to where you're just going to be that day. You're going to create your own lane. You're going to walk this. You getting out there scared. You're going to flow in the fear or flow with the fear. Is that what you said? Those, because I want to use that terminology. That's nice. You're going to flow with that fear, because I'll be scared
yes,
as hell, but I keep on going with it. I don't give up on myself. I show up for myself. It's times when I be sick as a dog, y'all. I'm talking. When I say sick, I be sick.
hmm,
And I be like, don't want to do it. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to be about it. I don't want to do nothing. But I get up anyway. I have to show up for myself, because who else is going to do it? Now, there are times when I give myself a break. I understand that's required and necessary for me. But there are also times when I need to get my ass up just because I don't want to do it. I got to show up for me. I got to get up and say, sometimes I got to give myself a pep talk. We always waiting
yes.
on somebody else to motivate us. We want our partners to motivate us. But you don't want to motivate yourself. It starts with you.
Come on now.
Motivation starts with you. That's how your lane is consistently built. I'm telling y'all, when I said before, I have to get up every day and keep on going, and I'm still, plowing down bushes and moving trees and doing all these things as I'm creating my lane. It's a lot of them times I be tired. I have to motivate myself. You understand? It's
Yeah.
important for you to be able to show up for yourself and stop relying on everybody and their mama to push you or give you a swift kick in the ass. It's not important. That's not important. When you are creating your own lane, you have to be your first line of defense.
Yeah.
When you are creating your own lane, oh, them people on Instagram gonna miss out. When you are creating your own lane, you literally have to be your first line of defense. You have to say that I'm going all in on me. I'm going all in. I bet on me 100%. I'm gonna go broke on me.
Come on now.
And when you go broke on you, when you set that intention that I'm gonna go broke on me, you know there's something internally that's just gonna start moving inside of you that's not gonna let you down. And if
Yeah.
you looking for reasons to give yourself get out of that too. Creating your own lane is not an easy thing to do, but damn it, you're worth it.
Come on now.
It don't do no good for me to say you worth it if you don't think you worth it. I know that every single soul that is watching this live now has a lane of your own that can be created. You just have to believe it, know it, walk in it, breathe it, sleep it, eat it. So you have to. Creating your own lane yields so much freaking peace.
Yes.
Like you are peaceful when you in your own lane. I told y'all how I had picked up other people's stuff. You know what I'm saying? I had picked up other people's stuff and didn't realize why I couldn't completely go forward. See, I saw the bushes in my lane. I saw the roads in my lane, but I was bound and held by holding on to somebody else's shit I picked up, thinking it was going to take me to and help me on my lane when I'm what I need on my lane.
Right.
I am only to use the energy of those of them the motivation that they have for themselves. It's the energy that you need to pick up, not the tasks that they are doing. It's the energy you need to pick up. It's all about uncovering that within you. That's why the first portion of this creating your own lane is this me? Is this me?
Okay.
Is this me?
And it could take a long time to get out of that conditioning there, and there's so many layers of it too, because like I mentioned, like we are conditioned from birth. We
Mm-hmm.
are conditioned into a lane, and then when we start to fully step into ourselves, um and that varies from person to person. um then you start to challenge and question the things that you were conditioned to believe. And
Yes.
as a child, you don't really have autonomy to say what you will and won't do, right? Like sometimes, like you're
Right.
just, this is what you're supposed to believe, this is what this is how you do things. But then as you start to develop, then you start to realize, like, develop as a divine being, develop mentally, spiritually, all these things. You start to step into your
Mm-hmm.
own. Then it's like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, this is what I was taught, but is this
Right.
true to me now?
Right.
And I ask myself this question. I assess and question and reevaluate my truth and what's true to me all the
Mm-hmm.
time.
On a consistent. It's
Yes.
important.
And I tend to do it. I like to do things with the seasons. I tend to like as we navigate into a new season, I'm like, okay, what no longer is true to me. It's okay to evolve from that. Like, what is true is based off what your current level of knowingness, and then you
Right.
start to do stuff.
Right.
You start to get a
Right.
new perspective of things, and then that can
Right.
change.
Right.
Yeah. So
This is so true.
if you would have told me, um, you know, 10 years ago that I was going to be, doing live streams, and I was going to be, running my own business, or I was going to be doing half of the stuff I'm doing now, I would not have believed you.
We like, girl, you lying? We like, who, me? Are you sure? That's not what I don't think so. I don't think so. Y'all was a hot mess. Okay. I was
Okay.
a hot mess. A
Yes.
hot
So a
mess.
lot
Like
can change, and you can evolve, and you should evolve. And I feel
mm-hmm.
like, and this is something for another conversation, I feel like, especially like in the spiritual community, it's like you
Mm-hmm.
evolve from like a religion or a certain path, and then it's like, oh well, you've evolved from that, but then you stay stuck in this one construct of belief, and you don't, it's like you can still evolve. Like, you don't have to leave one thing and then only believe this one thing. You
Right.
can continue to grow and change, and that's just one example. It doesn't have to
Yeah.
be
You
religion or spirituality. It could
you
be
just
in how you receive income,
yeah.
how your family dynamic.
Yeah.
Like, who says that the perfect life is the man, the woman with the two kids and the dog with the picket fence?
I said it was could be anything you want it to be.
Exactly.
Because I'm in a throuple.
Yes.
You can have it any way you want it, baby.
Exactly.
You can create your own lane any way you want it.
Yeah.
You can create, and I'm gonna tell you something. Me and Ujo have been talking about this, and my closest other friends talking about this. I had no idea the things that I was saying last March. I was speaking into existence. I was creating my own lane then. It's a level of energy that you have when you speak. Okay. And the intensity in that, you know what I'm saying, and the passion you have when you are creating your own lane and speaking into existence and allowing the words that are coming out of your mouth to formulate a specific frequency that you tune into in the ethers, and then you get on that frequency, and everything you ask for come to pass. You better be careful about the kind of lane you're trying to create.
Be careful what you ask for. Be careful what you say, because that shit
'Cause
gonna
you
come
won't
right
get
on
it.
to you.
Baby, I got it.
You better be ready for it.
I got it. Don't try to listen. Don't try and start. You say you want to create your own lane, and then when it comes time for you to walk that lane, you looking at it like, what? How this happen? You created that shit.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna talk about that one day too. You wonder why the lane you done created this messy, raggedy, jacked up, and all kinds of things. You created that.
Okay. Potholes and just
Listen,
crunchy,
all
crunchy,
in
just
the
hard and just
all in the hood. You can't sleep
bland
at
and
night.
crunchy.
You can't listen. You created that lane for yourself, okay? And we're not talking about physically in those areas. We're talking about being in that, in a mental state, a spiritual state. Say there's layers to this. We're gonna break it down for y'all in a whole lot more episodes. And we got some things we got going coming up for you all in the next couple of lives that is going to be off of this particular same topic. This is just episode 1 on creating your own lane. Y'all saw how we went all different kind of places. So what I do want you to do is to submit your questions, get on our VIP list, number 1, so that you can send us questions. You can sign up and do what is required, get our newsletters, get the things that we're going to be sending out to you, our reminders of when we're going to have it. Make certain you follow all of our pages, because sometimes we might be live on specific ones and won't be live on the other ones. Just to FYI. Okay, just to FYI. But we will be live. We are dedicated this first particular series, that the live series that we're doing right now, to lead y'all all the way up until we launch, and that's going to be a beautiful thing. We get to really build with one another, love on one another, and I just can't thank you enough for that. If you would share us out, let people know about us. Y'all are our day ones, fool. Y'all are day ones with us. Come
Yeah,
on, rock with us, because we damn sure gonna rock with you. Okay.
absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm going to just drop the link to here's the direct link
Okay.
to our to our landing page to join our VIP list if you're not already there. But the link to this is also in our bio wherever you're watching. Click on our link tree link, and you will see a tab that says join our VIP list. And yeah, then you'll get the inside scoop there, and you'll get access to when we also have private live streams and some other fun stuff that we're gonna have. So definitely stay tuned for that. And we would love for you to share your feedback. For those of you that are on the VIP list, I'll send out a survey to see what you like. But you can also just share in the comments or send us a DM, whether it's to our personal pages or just right on Spirit Wisdom Reset. Just share your feedback and what your biggest takeaway was from wherever you're watching. That will be very valuable to us, because we want to make sure that the topics that we're covering, that that they resonate with you, that you are getting value out of it, and so we can continue to do our work and improve. We want to continue to improve. So thank you for rocking with us for our very first episode of launching this thing that's been in the works for quite a while. So
yes,
I'm really excited to be in this lane that we're in. And any final thoughts before we conclude, Mayette?
Oh my gosh, I'm just elated. Y'all can see I done got hype as the time went past. I have got a little bit more hype. So let me tell you what's about to happen. We about to get off of here, and we about to do some stuff behind the scenes that only the VIP members will be privy to when we start dropping them videos. Y'all think we raw right here. And we are, but yeah.
Only the
Listen,
tip
get
of
on
the
the VIP
iceberg,
list.
honey.
My biggest thing for them is just to get on the VIP list because it's going to come a time when we're just going to be specifically speaking to you from that space outside of doing it. So you guys will be in the know. It's free. You guys will be in the know. It don't cost you nothing to get on over there and get on that list so that we can love on you in a different way. If that's what in a different way. Hey, baby, meditation star. You'll catch the replay. I'm sorry you're just joining, my love. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Listen to all of y'all who have been with us for this last hour, 15 minutes, either on Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, wherever y'all are. We are greatly appreciative of you. And I just wanted to send my love out, copious amounts of love out to you guys right in this moment. When you are watching this, I hope you can feel the energy flowing off of my hands into the crown of your head, through the soles of your feet, accepting the love that I have to give, that my sister has to give. We appreciate y'all so, so much. This has been What's Up. Listen, y'all, I'm hyped. I can't wait to the stuff we talk about after this.
I know, I know. It's been a pleasure, y'all. Enjoy the rest of your day. And we will see y'all on the next one. Bye.
All right, babies. Love y'all. Peace, peace.